following is a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is Black Hollywood Live, the branded athlete, featuring in-depth interviews with and commentary on today's biggest and most successful athletes. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host of Black Hollywood Live, the branded athlete.
Cut it.
She does do it. I'm the only one she was going to know that.
Listen,
You knew she was going to know
you
that.
need to cut it. It's my jam. You need to cut it. Wait. So that was I wouldn't know this song. Are you serious? You know how ratchet I am? Do you not know how ratchet I am?
I'm the only one. I'm the only one who didn't know this. But I never known either song.
You never know. You guys are watching The Branded Athlete every Thursday night on Black Hollywood Live. We are here, 7 o'clock. You're still jamming.
Oh, sorry.
That's good. That's good. I like it.
Turn down, Andre.
I'm Erica Renee Davis. You can find me on Snapchat, Periscope, Twitter, and Instagram at Erica Renee D.
I'm yours truly, Mr. Aundre Dean. You know what it is, man. Andre the Giant, AUNDRETHAGIANT, Instagram, Twitter, all that.
And I'm Rheina. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter and Periscope at Rheina_Ale.
And I'm your boy Joshua Johnson, apparently the old man on the panel because I've never heard this song. But I do like it though. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at JJ the Talented. Look it up.
And as always, follow all things Black Hollywood Live on blackhollywoodlive.com. Follow Black Hollywood Live on Twitter at BHL Online. And also follow this panel, The Branded Athlete, at The Branded Athlete on Instagram.
Do that.
Yeah.
Wait, who sings this song?
OT Genesis.
OT Genesis. Okay, that's right. So we were jamming OT Genesis. Hope you guys like that song. Cut it. They need to cut it. We're going to cut out the turn up and go ahead and turn into this week's hot takes.
I like that.
You like that?
She did.
Segue. Look
ready.
at that.
Practice that. Go ahead, mama.
How about it? Okay, so this week, University of Florida cornerback Jalen Tabor compared the NCAA to modern day slavery. This week we found out that the SEC, Southeastern Conference, the best conference in college football, had a revenue of
Big 12.
Debatable.
Alabama National Championship, $527 million in revenue this year. And that is what prompted Jalen's tweet. Now, since then, he got a lot of criticism, and he recanted his tweet to say, I compared it to slavery. I took it too far. Because, of course, people don't like to talk about slavery, and they definitely don't like to hear a college-age kid who's going to school for free compare that to slavery. So, what are your thoughts on Jalen's tweet? Like, does he have a point? Was he out of line? Is college football, NCAA, a form of modern day slavery? Dre, you're crunk. Go for it.
Cut it. That check that is. I think that them NCAA players, being a former NCAA player myself, man, I think you definitely deserve a check. I mean, because it's a full-time job. You putting in 30 plus hours a week, dedicated to your craft. Granted, you're getting a free education, etc. But it's nothing compared to the rumbling and bumbling and the pain and the injuries that your body intakes. And I think that's what the kids need to be. That's what they need to be compensated for. It's not so much the food and all that kind of stuff, because you can eat for free on campus. If you live close to campus, you get your stipends and stuff like that. But just for what they endure on their bodies, like even me, I didn't play, professional football after that, but my knees and my ankles are still tore up from the floor up. So I think they should be compensated for that in some type of way. And these coaches making millions and billions of dollars.
But listen, don't they sign up for that though? They know what they sign up for though, right?
They know what they sign up for, but then again, they don't, because they haven't played at that level of football in their lives. Coming into high school, it's a huge difference from high school to college, and it's an even greater difference from college to professional.
Right, but knowing the wear and tear on your body, it's not a secret that it's a dangerous sport. It's going to wear you out physically. So I'm thinking like these guys know what they sign up for when they get these free rides. Basically, they're getting a full scholarship. Me myself, I'm one of the people who believe like, hey, school is for education. So you're going there first and foremost to be a student, and then an athlete next. So you're going there to get your education, and you're getting a free education at a big time school. I mean, dude, why are you comparing this to slavery? I mean, nobody's cutting your feet off. Nobody's raping your mother. you can leave whenever you want. It's not like that. I mean, you're getting a full ride scholarship.
I agree. I feel his frustration because I was a college athlete myself. I feel his frustration. I think his comparing it to slavery was over the top. However, I do think that college athletes do need to get compensated some sort of way. I get that it's a free education. However, there's also guidelines that we have to commit. Like sometimes coaches will say you have to have a 2.8, 2.9 GPA. Sometimes it's as high as a 3.0. For some players, that might be too much. If you don't have it, you can't play it, and there goes your free education. However, regular students, they might not have someone who's saying like, oh, you have to have a 3.0 or you can't come to school anymore. So,
yeah, but no one is putting a gun to your head
to
play a game. You're basically going to play a game.
Yeah, but even that at the same time, you got to look at some of these athletes that's coming in from these high schools. They really don't have the brain capacity, or not. I wouldn't say the brain capacity, but they really don't have the intelligence to pick up. In some of these universities, some of these top, so they can be there for 4 years and may not graduate and may not get a degree. So if you're there, and not to say that they're dumb or that, but some people can't grasp that quite high of a learning style.
Right, but it's not money they need. It's tutoring.
I disagree, Josh.
Because if you're admitting people into the university that aren't qualified, then they shouldn't be in there the first place.
No. But this is what I'm saying. There should be some type of compensation, because you take an athlete who you pretty much take him away from the real world for 4 to 5 years because he can't get a job. He can't go out and work. He can't do all the things that a typical person would do. And then if he doesn't graduate and get a degree and he doesn't go to the NFL, you throw him back into the world and he's gained nothing but loss on his body and loss of time.
But who's that on? I mean, a lot of people balance. Even if not an athlete, you're balancing a life in college. You're balancing maybe 3 jobs. Some people. I've had 3 jobs in college. You're balancing your workload. I mean, your schoolwork. I mean.
Absolutely, but some of these kids are playing football because they don't have anything else to go to. They don't have, football was their scapegoat, or whatever the sport may be. It was their scapegoat to get off the streets. Some of these, I know guys who give their stipend checks back to their families. Yeah. So if you can't provide them, at least you can give them something to benefit their families or themselves as individuals.
You're giving them a chance to make it to the pros if they're good enough, and you're giving them an education.
Well, okay,
yeah,
so
but everybody's not going to get that
the whole free education thing. I used to think the same as you, Josh. A free education is great. It sounds all well and good, but like Dre said, everyone's not going to actually graduate, and sometimes you don't graduate not because you didn't want to, but because you have to practice 25 hours a week. You got to go to bowl games. Then you got an extra bowl game. God forbid you're Alabama or you're Ohio State and you have to go to that extra bowl game because you get to play the championship. So that's one thing. Another thing is these athletes in football players don't get to work. They can't balance 2 or 3 jobs in their class loads because they can't work. They don't have time to work. And another thing is, the SEC, it's this one conference, you made $527 million off of my back, my legs, my shoulder, my arm, my foot, my leg. You can't compensate me something?
What do you propose? Do you propose that they get like a weekly check? I mean, you get a stipend when you go on the road games. Nobody's starving. You go to the University of Florida.
But it's more than just about food. Like my talent, my acumen, my skill is bringing $530 million to your school.
To your program.
To your school. A free education is nothing when you think about how the regents and the boards of directors and boosters donate money. A free education is nothing because the school's not losing anything by my butt sitting in this seat. You're not losing anything. But what I'm losing is my ability to have a job over the summer. I'm losing my ability to be home for Thanksgiving and be home for Christmas. I'm losing my ability to really study hard because I'm on the practice field. I'm losing my ability to have an opportunity to have 2 majors because my other major is football. $530 million, you can cut me a real salary of sorts every month. It doesn't make any sense. Where's the money going?
Maybe it's not money they need. Maybe they should relax some of the fact that you say they can't get another job. Maybe they should change that. Maybe they should relax some of the I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but make it so they don't have to be so committed to that particular team. They have time properly allocate the time is what I'm trying to say, to make sure that they have a time as a student and they have time to do other things besides football.
Well, that's not going to happen because the reason that they make $530 million a year is because the players are spending so much time driving the engine that is the football program. So there's no football program, there's no school that's going to say, you know what, Dre, I want you to spend more time in class. No, I want your butt on the field putting butts in my seat every Saturday. I want your butt on the field so we can go to the Capitol Bowl or the Cotton Bowl or the Rose Bowl and we can get an extra cool $7 million. Like that's what the schools want.
This is what I propose quickly, and then I won't say anything else about it because we've been rambling.
Okay.
This is what I propose. I propose that every week they get a certain amount of money for their practices, just like they're practicing, playing in games, just like people get paid every day. But they put it in some type of fund to a point where you have an option to take out a certain amount of money a week and have it put together in a fund for you. So when you graduate, they say, look, this is all your funds that you spent, that they saved up for you. Or you can take it. If you want to take it every week or you want to take a bigger
be a dummy and spend it all at one time?
Right. So then that puts you in a position where you didn't waste it, you didn't blow it, but then at the end of your 4 years or 5 years, if you don't get that degree, at least you got $20,000, $30,000 that you can say, what can I do with this? You know what I mean? Maybe I can help the fam. Maybe I can get a job. Maybe I can start something else. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, that's a pretty, that's a pretty novel concept. I think since you're bringing a solution, I could see working with the athletes, student athletes, NCAA to figure out how they would do that. Because if you just say, cut us a check, it's a lot more to that. It's a lot more to that than just saying, cut us a check.
But so do we all agree that Jalen Tabor was out of line to call it slavery?
He was totally out of line.
He was very out of line.
Okay.
Totally out of line.
Absolutely.
And in the light of MLK Day, I mean, come on. Slavery is nothing like playing college football.
I do know people every year during the draft. I do know people who get on social media and who will say, I feel like I'm watching a slave trade. I've seen that on social media. People will say that every year. Pay attention this year when you watch the draft. They'll be like,
but they're gonna keep
brother,
on watching.
You signed up for it, and you're about to get
Okay, but
that check. So
to Jalen's credit, he did recant his statement and did say that he did go overboard. He should not have compared it to slavery. But at least it got the conversation going again about how athletes do need to be compensated a little bit more fairly for these organizations, or for this organization that's bringing in $530 million in revenue every year and doing what with it? Who knows?
Who knows?
DraftKings read today, right? Just want to make sure before we do a live read.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Please remind the folks about our friends at DraftKings.
That's right, guys. DraftKings are our best friends because we love fantasy football here at the Branded Athlete. And if you're going to play fantasy football, DraftKings.com is the only destination that you need to even be considering. Now that football season is basically over and your weekly fantasy football leagues are completely done, DraftKings.com is a quick solution to go. You can change your players each week. You can pick new players. You can pile up your points, and all you have to do is go in and out every week and hope you make some money, which DraftKings you will, because this guy made some money during the regular season playing fantasy football on DraftKings.com. So yes, DraftKings.com. Use the promo code BLACK so that they know we sent you from Black Hollywood Live, and good luck out there. Send us a check when you win some money.
Cut it.
So
Yes,
let's move
ma'am.
on to the NFL football playoffs.
Yeah.
We're down to our final 4 teams. We have some good games to watch on Sunday. And so let's start off with the first game. Let's go with the Panthers and the Cardinals. So, team, who's your pick, and what do you think they need to do to win? Do you want Erica want to start, or?
Okay, so we're Carolina and Arizona.
We're talking about Carolina
Okay.
and Cards.
I've been rolling with Cam all year long. Not a bandwagon Panthers fan, but I've definitely been rolling with Cam all year long. I think that the Panthers defense has shown us week after week after week that they have what it takes. They're multifaceted. Cam Newton has matured as a pocket passer. He's becoming what I guess the media would consider a classic quarterback now. He can get you some extra yards with his legs. He's not just going to drop back, but if he has to, he will. If he needs to run, he can. Olsen, tight end. He was my fantasy receiver this year. He did me well. I'm sure he's going to do awesome this weekend too. So I think Carolina just has to continue sticking to that game plan that's gotten them this far, 16-1 now. But what they cannot do, they cannot let up in the second half. They tend to get really conservative in the second half of games, and that's beyond me. They have to play to win instead of playing to not lose. But I say Panthers all day.
Well,
And don't bet
All right,
against me
Dre.
because
Yes,
I was
Dre.
perfect.
Hey, you
last
know,
week.
I
Dre,
don't
we saw
care.
what your predictions led to.
Yeah, we saw
last
what my
week,
predictions
man.
led to,
Goodness.
brother. And right now, my predictions is leading to the Cardinals winning
Oh
this
my
game
God.
this weekend. I'm
Look,
telling you, look,
whatever Dre said, do the
look,
opposite.
Oh, okay.
Go back
look,
to Twitter
you-
and look
say-
at last
say-
week's predictions.
Whatever. Look, say what you want to say. Look, I'm rocking with them Cardinals right now. Them Cardinals is hot. They got a balanced passing game. They got a couple great wide receivers. They got vet wide receivers. They got young wide receivers. And I think those vet wide receivers are teaching those young wide receivers how to play and finish games.
What are they going to do about that
Larry
Panthers defense?
Fitzgerald
though?
had Larry Fitzgerald had an amazing game last week. Devin Johnson had another amazing game. The quarterback had another amazing game. I really think that they hitting on all cylinders, and I think the Panthers really haven't seen anything like them this season. Maybe the Packers, but what they haven't seen a team. They haven't seen a team with a balanced passing, running game all around.
Not even the
with
Seahawks?
with the great. That would be the only team that I would say that they've seen this year that was that caliber, that had it hidden on both sides. And even the Seahawks, they really didn't have an amazing, a strong, consistent running game, especially after Marshawn Lynch got hurt.
But Marshawn was healthy last week, so what about that?
Marshawn Lynch didn't play last week.
But Marshawn Lynch didn't play last week.
No, he didn't.
He didn't take
play
one
last week.
snap last week.
No, he didn't. He didn't play last week.
He didn't?
He practiced all week.
I didn't
and
watch the game.
He practiced all week and didn't play.
No.
He practiced.
I'll look it up while we argue.
Yeah, look
Yeah, he
look that
practiced
up.
all week and didn't play. But that's just my opinion. I think the Cardinals is gonna win. I think they hitting on all cylinders, and I think that the Panthers don't even know how to lose. They don't know how to finish a whole lot of close games. They just learning, and I think the Cardinals is gonna make it happen.
They just know how to win.
They do.
Did you see the first half drubbing? The first half blowout
I saw it.
of Seattle.
But
That
did you
was-
also see them almost come back and lose that game?
They almost
I
came
saw
back.
that. You know what
But
I mean?
look-
They gave up 26 points in one half. That's not a consistent defense. To go undefeated, to give up nothing in the first half, and to backdoor and give up 26
No,
points in one
absolutely
half.
right. But
it's
that
not good.
does happen.
And
they
didn't
slipped a little
score
bit.
again. They
But
didn't even score
if they go
again.
back and look at that game film and take notes, I bet they come back this week and not let that happen again. Because we've seen them
Of
now.
course they can't let it happen
15-1 on
again.
the season. They've seen enough now to know. Okay, here's what we have to do to make sure that we win this game. And I think the Carolina Panthers are gonna definitely win this game.
I think
was
their
nasty.
defense. I think their defense hasn't been that consistent this year. I know. You know how I know, because I have them on my fantasy team. They was my defense the whole year. And in some games where they would give me 10, and then in some games where they would give me 2.
But
you know what I mean?
you
And
won
can
money
say
at
what
least
you
one
wanna
week
say.
on DraftKings. I know that
I
much.
did that. Hey, whoa. But what I'm saying is, I don't think that their defense is consistent. I don't think their defense is deep and long. I don't think they have a whole lot of subs and backups, and I think that's why when they play long 4-quarter games, I think that's when they kind of get tired. Their players get tired. I
Well,
think.
sorry, Jay, you're outnumbered because I'm Team
okay.
Panthers. Cam
Hey,
the man.
they on the
He's
roll.
it.
They on the roll.
Sorry. Defense, all three of us agree. Their defense has been consistent. And Cam Newton, his confidence is incredible right now. He was getting interviewed a couple days ago, and they asked him, are you nervous about the game? He's like, no, it's not. It's just any other game. So having a quarterback like that with his confidence going into this game, I mean, I'm pretty sure the Panthers are fired up for this one on Sunday. So sorry,
Good
Jay.
pick.
You're-
Good pick.
They ain't scored in a long time. You know what I'm saying? Because they went that whole half and ain't put no points up and gave up 26. So.
Panthers, they don't want you to win. DJ
They don't want you
Khaled,
to
they don't
win.
want you to win.
They
Hey.
don't want you to win.
I mean,
Well,
I
Dre
ain't-
don't want you to win. Okay, moving on. So there's been some social media wars going on between the next two teams, the Broncos and the Patriots, but the Broncos are doing a little bit more of the talking. Cornerback Chris Harris said this quote about Gronkowski, you got to hit him low, man. Hit him in the knees. That's the best chance you have of hitting him. You got to take his legs out or hold on to him and wait for everybody. Wait for the gang to come on and tackle him. So Rob Gronkowski took offense to that and tweeted this. If you guys can see it.
Oh yeah, he
Took a
heard their whole team is good
Good
at giving low blows.
giving little blows.
Little sexual innuendo.
I didn't know if I was supposed to say it live,
Rather
but
clever.
so did you guys think that Chris Harris meant his comment?
I don't think so.
I
think he's just being. I think there's some truth in every comment, and I think that the reality is Gronk is huge. He's a monster, and it does take a lot to take him down. And so that's the truth. But I don't think that any player at this level of the game, at this juncture in the season, is trying to take anybody's knees out
Right.
for real. So
No.
I think
Yeah,
Gronk just took offense to it because of his injuries. And, they said hit him low. I mean, he's a guy.
He made I think Harris made an accurate assessment. I mean, Gronk is
True.
a good player, and you're going to say, okay, if you're going to ask me this question about Gronk and how to take him down, he's going to make an accurate assessment and say, yo, you got to hit him low. That's what it takes. Now, if he was just some Joe Blow that he was defending, I mean, it wouldn't even matter. But he gave his opinion. This is how we got to take him out, and that's what we got to do. So they're gonna do it. And then Gronk's response, I don't know. Was he angry? I think he was just.
I think it was
that was funny.
Yeah, I thought it was
And
funny.
he actually
he had a good
commented
comeback
again today and said, that's football. He said, that's football. That means I need to work on my moves. If
Right.
people are recognizing that they can go low and go at my knees and take me out and you can bring me down that way, then I need to work on some moves.
Then you adjust.
Right. And that's the game. You know what I mean? I don't think he's wrong for saying it. I think that they're talking too much in general.
Way too
I
much.
think they should just sit back, shut up, and play the game, because that's when your foot get in your mouth sometimes when you talk too much and you can't come out there and back it up. Even though I am picking them to win this week against I just wanted to throw that in there. But
Well, you
I
picking
think
who?
he's just speaking to get the Broncos.
Oh, you picking the Broncos?
Yeah, I think he's just speaking the game, having fun. He's loose. He's saying, hey, he's a big fella. You got to
Right.
hit that
You gotta
fella
hit
and be
him
ready
low.
for him.
And then it's the back and forth too. It's a big game. They're gonna try to get in each other's heads, and that's how these kind of games go. You try to get in your opponent's head before you play the game, and that way you can just psych them out, and it'll be easy for you.
Agreed.
So who do you guys pick? I mean, we have the Broncos right here. What do we have for you?
I say Patriots all day, and I hate that for Peyton Manning because I love the Manning family. I love their legacy. I admire what his dad and what Eli has done, and what of course Peyton Manning has done. But I think this is his swan song, and it's just gonna be really sad to see him go down again, one game short of the Super Bowl. I guess it's better to lose now than to lose in the Super Bowl. I don't know, but yeah, I'm picking Patriots. Unfortunately, because I do not like the Patriots, but I'm picking the Patriots.
I would rather them losing the Super Bowl.
Would
I mean,
you?
yeah. I mean,
you want to
I
get to
think
another Super Bowl and lose in the Super Bowl
no,
again?
I think, but at least you've experienced making it to the Super Bowl and experienced
Oh,
all
yeah, I
that
missed
comes
that.
with and around the Super Bowl. Because if you end up one game short, it's like, dang, I could have made it to the Super Bowl. I think if only I had changed this, maybe I can get back. I could have gotten back to the big game. But if you're in there, at least you get to experience all that comes around. If you lose in the big games, you say, well, I tried to win it in the Super Bowl.
That hurts. That hurts.
But this matchup, oh man, I don't know. This is a tough one because they surprised me last week. Denver surprised me last week, but I'm going to say they're not going to surprise me this week, and I think the Patriots are going to take it.
Okay.
One more quote I forgot to add from the Broncos. Again, of course, they're doing all the talking right now. So Broncos, Antonio Smith calls Brady a baby, and here's his statement. That would be an accurate statement. I've never seen any quarterback look to the referee right after he gets sacked more than Brady. Every time he gets sacked, he looks at the ref like, you see him sack me? Was that supposed to happen? He did it, and a little hard. Please throw him a 15-yard penalty on him, get him fined. So what about that statement? Do you think that he was just completely being out of line, or because I think Brady is a little bit of a.
I think he's a crybaby.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think he's entitled, and I guess after you've won 4 Super Bowls, and this will be you're going to possibly your 7th one. I understand how you have a sense of entitlement, and as opposed to who said that? Who was the one who said that? Chris Harris. As opposed to Chris Harris's tweet, which I think is in jest and kind of funny. I think Antonio really meant this because players, I think, sometimes don't like Brady because he's the golden boy and he's privileged and he gets all the women, or he has the beautiful woman, I guess. So I think that was for real. I think he meant that seriously. Like, you are a crybaby. Shut up.
But you notice though that the best players, some of the best players, are the ones that you typically see trying to plead their case against the referees. It's always the top players because at some point they know they can get certain calls, and if they plead their case, things are going to be tilted in their favor going forward in that game. So I think a lot of the great players try to finagle their way in with the ref and get those calls. You see it happen in basketball all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You see it happen with Jordan was famous for it.
Jordan, yeah.
Kobe does that.
So is LeBron.
Does that.
So
and
we all
they
know
call him a
LeBron.
crybaby. So for Brady, I don't think he really cares because at the end of the day, he does have 4 Super Bowls, like you said, Erica.
Yeah.
He might get a 5th one.
Yeah, I don't think he's really paying attention to all that.
I think this is one of those things where they're really trying to. It's more of a team thing, you know what I mean? Like it's almost like we all stand, we all fall. Like one defensive player stepped out, said something, but no one said something. I think they backing each other, you know what I mean? I do definitely think that Antonio Smith he meant that.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
saying like this dude is a flopper. This dude does a lot to get those calls. He expects those calls, and he does, and he will, every game, whenever the scenario is, he's going to continue to do that. But you get a chance to do that when you're the player that you are, and you've earned that reputation on the field to be one of the greats, and nobody wants to see you hurt or injured like that because
You
they
do
want
what
to see
you want when
on
you
the field.
popping.
Yeah.
Wait, Rheina, what's your prediction for the AFC?
I'm gonna pick the Broncos. Did you pick? I'm picking the Broncos.
You said Broncos, okay.
Yeah.
So Dre and Rheina say Broncos. Okay.
yeah.
I'm keeping track.
Oh no, you had Patriots.
I say,
too.
Pat still.
Okay.
So, yeah, we got Erica Panthers, Dre Cardinals, Rheina Panthers, Josh Panthers. Erica Patriots, Dre Broncos, Rheina Broncos, Josh Patriots. So, who?
I'll be keeping track.
Let's
Yeah.
see. Let's see who wins.
They want to start.
Me,
Were you
me,
going for
me
it?
and Josh.
You 0-4 or 3?
I think it was 2
Man,
and
I've
He was 2 and 2, I think.
yeah, but at least 1-1. I ain't 1-1 yet.
Eric over here you were perfect,
I was
right?
perfect, so.
I was perfect.
Yeah, 'cause you were
It
here.
has to happen once.
Yeah, I ain't perfect.
It's okay, guys.
I think I owe y'all $1 too.
Oh, yeah, Carmelita Jeter, if you're watching.
Actually,
Don't try to
I
outrun
picked
us now.
Clemson
You
too,
owe
but
us our
I didn't
dollar.
say I was gonna give y'all $1.
Nah, you wasn't here.
Oh, wait, you was for Clemson then?
I was for
That night?
Clemson.
She wanted to go with her
She's
coach.
just-
She's like, I'm
yeah,
going to go with
she's
Coach
just following.
CJ. I'm like, okay, you're going to be a loser
It
with
was
your
a
coach.
close game. Okay.
Went the wrong way. Is it me?
Yes, it's
you.
In a move that almost seems like the plot of a Disney movie, where the executive assistant in one season, has a miracle season and becomes the head coach and wins the big game. The Buffalo Bills have actually made strides forward when it comes to women's equality and have hired the first full-time assistant coach in the NFL in Catherine Smith. And I want to know what you guys think about this, because I think it's a good move. The year before, she was an executive assistant to Rex Ryan, Buffalo Bills coach, and then this year they made her the special teams
Quality control coach.
coach
Yeah.
as a full-time job. So this makes her the first full-time
Female coach.
in the NFL.
So I'm going to go ahead and curse Josh out for you guys because he called this a wicked Disney movie.
It's like
plot.
a Disney movie, right? You know how the lowly assistant makes it to they become the head coach somehow. Everybody gets sick or they die, and then she wins again.
Well, Catherine she's been in the league coaching, or she's been in the league as an assistant for I think 12 years, and she was working for the Jets before. So
She's been in the league, yeah.
So she's very familiar. It's not like they picked some random woman off the street. It's
No,
like,
not at all.
Come be a coach. But honestly, what does a quality control special teams coach do? We know that it's a very, very low tier coaching position.
Well, the person who had that position before, Michael Hamlin, was a former NFL player, but it says that she most likely will run the special teams scout team at practice.
Okay.
She will be breaking down game film, assisting special teams coordinator Danny Crossman, and special teams assistant Eric Smith. So she will have some, things to do.
So is she really a coach, or is it like, what up, coach? Like, hey, what's up, coach? Is it like, coach?
Well, it's a coaching position.
Okay.
Evident according to the the Bills organization.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I know like on paper it's a coaching position, but is it really a coaching position? I'm just being serious.
I think so. I mean, breaking down film in general is so. I mean, I used to coach in college, and breaking down film was so exhausting and annoying. You're seeing plays after plays after plays.
And it takes knowledge of the game.
A lot.
Yeah.
You have to know your game. And you're not even watching the team that you're playing next week, but you're also watching who they played week before that and the week before that, like their whole season. So I can see why they wanted to add her on to the team. Maybe she knows the team very well. She knows the coach. She's been with Rex Ryan for 12 plus years. So.
And she's had previous experience in scouting and personnel. She was she was a scouting intern in 2005.
Why are you shaking your head, Dre? I can only imagine what misogynistic thing he's getting ready to say.
Well, Dre, let me ask you. Let me ask you this, Dre. So sometime down the line,
Bumblebee's speaking up.
since we have the first female assistant coach, could we possibly one day see the first female head coach? And would that necessitate having?
Hell no, man.
You don't think so?
Exactly.
Stop playing with yourself.
What did I tell you?
Look, man, hell to the no. Look, what
This
she's
is awful.
doing, the special teams quality control. Now, you can't shun what she does because special teams is an extremely important part in the game, right? I mean, a lot of things can happen. A lot of tides can be turned. A lot of momentum is typically won off of special teams, etc. So I can't say that that's not an important position. But what I can say is, I don't think any female that hasn't played the game and put on the pads and ran between the lines and seen it on that level has enough knowledge to do too much more than what she's accomplishing right now. Now, what I'm saying is, as a special teams quality control coach, in order of the scout team, right? So what you're doing is making sure players are in the right place, you know, making sure people are here, there, getting the hustle, getting the fight out of people. But the thing about that position is, if you watch, it's not something that you can do a whole lot with. Does that make sense? You don't have to have played football to know. You can watch special teams and study enough film and break it down enough to know that the team is either going to do this or the team is going to do that. It's not like offense or defense to a point where you can. I'm making my point. It's not like offense or defense to a point where you have to understand truly what's going on and be out there and see it and get it. It's something that can be learned or taught. Special teams, just like we watch film to learn what the other team does. Anybody can sit there and watch film all day for a whole lot of hours and say, okay, they're probably gonna do this because they've done that 9 times out of 10. That's what I think.
But it takes more to be a head coach, you say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Than to know the game well by watching it, experiencing.
Absolutely, you got to understand it from all angles. You got to understand it from all points of views, and I think you almost have to have played it. You have to have played to truly get it. Like, I mean, like rugby, I've never played rugby. You can sit here and tell me all day, like, this is rugby, I can watch film, but until I get out there and actually, like, I play football. Like, that's what I know, you know, when but the rules aren't the same from rugby and football. You know, it's all lateral passes, everything is different. So that's what I think. I think that that's a great position for her, kudos, but there will never be a female NFL head coach or college coach because I don't think that you know and understand what it takes to be out there and what it takes, because a player has to feel, they have to feel you. If you're a head coach and you can't, if you've never been in my position, how can you tell me?
Okay, let me ask this, because oftentimes you hear players say what you're saying, that females will never reach a certain pinnacle in coaching because we can't play college football, not in the positions that men traditionally play. And I also hear men say the same thing about female reporters and female anchors. And when it comes to the sports world, they say, I'm not going to listen to that girl talk about football because she's never played before. So I want to juxtapose that with politics. Let's just take politics. No one's ever been the president except for, 44 people. So you mean to tell me that I can't sit and give my analysis about what your policies are, what your administration is or is not doing, just because I was never the president? And I know it's kind of far-fetched to try to compare the two, because it's athletics and it's politics. It's very far-fetched. But all I'm saying is that can you confidently say that just because a person has never done something to the extent that you have done it, that they're not qualified to be the leader of it?
Absolutely.
And that's across.
I think when you're talking about football, when you're talking about a game, now let's not. It's a game. We play football. We take it out of context because it's a lot of money on the line and the politics is in it and people do fantasy, but it's still a game. It's playing football. But at the same time, if you've never put yourself out there and played and been in that position, how can you expect to tell these 18 to 24-year-old men or 25 or nowadays 22 to 40-year-old men, like, this is how you do it when you've never done it a day in your life?
Well, I think you can expect it
it
if you've seen a certain standard of excellence up before that point. If you've seen them prove themselves at a lower level with certain coaching tasks and maybe they're promoted to something else. I mean, I think I could see the players developing a respect for that person, even though they haven't played the game. But if they've proven themselves without playing the game at lower levels, then I don't think you would not respect her if she became head coach.
I wouldn't say. I think you have to respect her. If it gets, I can confidently say I think that will never ever happen. Am I wrong? Maybe.
No, I mean, that's your opinion.
But that's my opinion.
I can't
That's my opinion. I think that would never happen.
Never.
And I think you got to respect her for even for. I'm not shunning the fact that I think that's awesome. I mean, it's a lot of players or a lot of people in general that would kill to be in that position. But and women are owners. Some women own teams. Like I got nothing against it, but when it comes to coaching and the game and knowing all that, you can't read books for that. You got to get out there and do that.
Right. No, I don't disagree with you at all.
Okay.
That's just something that you have to experience, I think, in order to have a full, well-rounded view of directing someone else and doing it. Yeah.
Rheina,
I don't
you've
disagree
been
with
quiet
I
over
mean,
here.
I kind of see both sides to it. If as an athlete, if you've played your sport and you're telling me what to do, I'll respect you. But I think this is huge. I think she has proven herself by working from being an intern to moving up to being an assistant to moving up to her position now. And I think this is great for sports for women in general. I mean, Greg Popovich hired Becky Hammond as the first female assistant, and then Nancy Lieberman of the Kings, she's coaching as well. Sometimes I think you just need a female perspective.
But they played though. They've played.
They played, I know,
Right.
but it's a different ballgame. WNBA and NBA is totally different. And men are, who knows? They might not even get respected by their players. But I mean, it's just NBA and WNBA is totally different.
And I want to also say that women, we are very analytical. We are thoughtful. We're critical thinkers. We are planners. We are strategists. So maybe a female coach like Catherine or Becky Hamill or the next female whomever has a certain perspective because we think and use different parts of our brain that a man might not. Yeah, you might have the brawn, but maybe she is as capable of a coach in this position or in a head coaching position because she strategizes better, or she keeps her cool more than Nick Saban, or she's easier to talk to than Urban Meyer. So I'm not saying that we're going to have a female head coach in football, college, or NFL anytime soon, but if we ever do, I think that person would bring some very strong qualities to the position that aren't about playing, but about being smart, brilliant, genius, and being able to strategize.
Especially for this particular position, it is a quality control.
Quality control, special teams quality control.
Breaking down film, just strategizing. I think that's
Which
the
almost
perfect
sounds like it
position.
was something they kind of made up to be
Oh,
honest.
I mean,
It's what it sounds like. Is she the
had that
special
position.
teams coach? Is she the special teams
She's
coach?
not the full out special teams coach.
Oh,
no.
no.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You know what I mean?
Dre, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, Dre.
She's assisting special teams coordinator.
I hear what you're saying.
But I'm not going to negate the fact that this is a nice step when it comes to women in sports. I mean, that's clearly
course.
seen. That's great. That's good for her. Now, like Dre said, will we see a woman head coach? I'm not going to definitively say no, because you never know. Somewhere down the line, just like Erica was saying, who's to say that an owner or general manager won't eventually say, oh, you know what, I've seen you and in your experience up until this point, I think you'd be a good head coach for my team. Who's to say? I can't say that.
Where would you have gotten that experience from?
Hey, I used to say we'd never see a black president. I used to say we'd never see a woman president. But
that's completely. This is football.
I just don't think the players are going to respect a female head
Right.
coach.
It-
Just knowing.
Would she be allowed in the locker room?
Huh?
Would she be allowed in the locker room?
Right.
maybe-
You know what I mean? Like, of course she would be. You know what I mean? Because trainers and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But it just brings too many. So you can have 2-3 people on that team that don't respect that coach. That feels like, and that can be the reason why your team struggles the whole year.
Like Chip Kelly, no one
Because
respected him,
people are-
and his team struggled
Right.
for a year, and he doesn't have a vagina. So what about that?
But what that has nothing to. This is
But-
just a fact.
but
I'm just figuring this doesn't have anything to do with
I'm saying
with that. What you're talking about.
No. You said that you can have a team's dynamic can be
Right.
affected if 2 or 3 players don't
Right,
respect the coach.
right.
And I'm saying, you can not respect the coach if it's a woman. with
Or
a
a man.
vagina,
But what
or a
I'm
man.
saying
Okay,
is,
just throwing that out there.
putting a female in that situation, it's likely that there's going to be one guy that's like, yo.
Yeah, that's likely.
You know what I
Of course
mean?
that's likely.
It's a lot more likely and it's coaches that don't, it's players that don't like the coaches all over the world. But it's one thing about respecting. Like, you might not like the coach, but you know he knows what he's doing, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be in that position. Because everybody get picked and everybody get an option to go where they want to go and where they don't want to go. That's all I'm saying.
I disagree. Respectfully, but disagree.
Oh,
Because Brandon Marshall and those other guys and Boykin who were talking about Chip Kelly not respecting him because they didn't respect them, they clearly didn't respect their coach. But I digress. Y'all have any bonus takes for this week? I know we didn't put any on the rundown, but anything else you guys want to throw out there before we wrap it up for today's episode?
NBA All-Star Game starters were announced today.
Kobe's
who is
starting.
Is he?
Yep.
In the East, we got Dwayne Wade,
Of course.
Kyle Lowry, LeBron James, Paul George, Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo Anthony has been balling right now.
they
He's
just-
having like one of the best seasons he's had since he's been playing.
It is going to be
Because
all
he's
for
got
naught.
Porzingis nipping at his heel. He still wants to be the best on the team. Porzingis is doing his thing. But we see in the West we have Stephen Curry, of course, Russell Westbrook. We got Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, and Kawhi Leonard.
Which a lot
like
of people are
Kawhi.
surprised about that.
I like
thought
that
Draymond-
pick.
And that was a fan. I mean, that was a fan vote.
That
So
was-
that wasn't a coach's reserve pick.
I saw that on Twitter. A lot of people were surprised about Kawhi starting over Draymond Green of the
I was
Warriors.
surprised. But what happened
really
now?
was. Go ahead.
I'm looking at this and I'm like, they changed something because typically I thought it was you pick your center, your 2 forwards and 2 guards, but it seems like something changed.
Sounds like small ball. Let's see.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because
I think it's kind of.
Wait, they have. Can I?
who's the
do they
center?
have-
Who's the center on the West?
On the West,
Do we have one? You didn't name one in
No,
that
they
starting
just said
five.
KD.
I think they didn't kind of moved away from that.
Doing
though.
small ball,
did.
trying to hang with the
Yeah.
Warriors,
Small ball.
trying to emulate their all-star picks
think
after the
it's-
Warriors. Okay.
It's just getting
That's gonna be interesting.
It will be.
I
No,
can't
it
even-
won't be. It won't be interesting. It's the
So
all-star
there's
game.
no,
That's true.
but that is a good. So
Kobe's
there's no
farewell.
starter. There's no center. There's no center position
No,
on either
no.
one of those
Center.
teams.
Nope.
No, for
That's,
the, I would
that's
say for
kind of
the-
crazy though.
But it is. How about
Low-key.
reserves? Reserve. No centers on the reserves?
Oh, no reserves yet.
Okay.
That the coaches pick that later.
Okay. Okay, well.
That's crazy.
Right.
All right, guys. So we see what you're doing out there, NBA.
Transitioning.
Keeping it spicy for us, I
But
guess.
there really is not a who's balling like that. There's no center that you can literally say has been having a dominant
DeMarcus.
consistent
Cousins.
season.
DeMarcus.
Cousins. He's been playing
What's
So why wouldn't he make it?
what's the guy from the Pistons?
fans, I guess. Probably not.
Drummond.
Yeah,
Andre
Drummond missed 23 free throws
Well,
the
but-
other night.
Yeah, he did.
23 free
Dog.
throws.
Yeah, but that doesn't take away that you can't dismiss. You can't.
I know that
No,
doesn't
that takes
admit.
away a
That's
lot.
just a statement.
That
like,
takes away a
dog,
lot.
But he's still balling on the court. In his
he
position.
is doing his thing.
That's
but
not on the
but
court.
free
That's on the court.
throws.
Free throws. That's a different
Come
story.
on, guys.
That's horrible.
DeAndre Jordan can't shoot free throws either.
Yeah, he can, and neither could Shaq. But hey,
Oh, hey, my boy, Dwight Howard airballed a free throw.
yo,
He averages.
Yo, I went to that game, man. We airballed that free throw ball. I felt so bad for him. It just went.
don't feel bad for
straight-
Dwight Howard.
Guys, work on your free throws, please.
Oh,
Goodness gracious.
that's it for us today. Branded athlete.
The whole stadium was like, airball. I was like, no.
He's still talking about this air ball over here.
Oh, yes, it's yours truly, man. You know what it is, Aundre Dean. It's been awesome, man. Aundre the Giant. Hey, you should know how to spell it by now. I'm tired. I'm tired,
What if
yo.
it's the first time watching?
It is true.
AUNDRETHAGIANT. Instagram, Twitter, all that. Bumblebee.
Oh. Hi.
Bumblebee.
Erica Renee Davis. You can find me on Instagram,
Mocha.
Twitter, Periscope, and everything. Twitter, Erica Renee D.
And I'm Rheina Ale. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter and Periscope at Rheina_Ale. Don't forget the
Mocha.
H.
And last
Or
but
Mocha.
certainly not least, it's your boy Joshua Johnson. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at JJ the Talented. Did I just cut you off?
Milk Dud.
No, I was just
Milk
telling
Dud.
you
Milk Dud.
I'm Mocha for the show.
Mocha.
And Milk Dud.
Bumblebee.
We need a
We need a nickname for Dre.
Give us a
Help us.
nickname
I got a
for Dre.
nickname for
Leave in
Dre.
the
I
comments,
can't even say it
tweet.
on air.
Ooh.
Give us a nickname for Dre.
BlackHollywoodLive.com. Keep up with that. Follow all things Black Hollywood Live. Follow us on Twitter at BHL Online. Follow The Branded Athlete on Instagram at The Branded Athlete. And make sure you download our podcast on iTunes. Like, watch on YouTube, subscribe, comment, share, whatever. We'll comment back to you on YouTube and talk to us on Twitter. Until next Thursday night at 7, guys. For The
Cut it.
Branded Athlete. Cut it.
Cut that check for them athletes.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Buzz redefined.
Oh,
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.